This will be the second episode that explains Bonapartism. This episode focuses on what Bonapartism means in its modern context. I also want to emphasize some of my personal background since it relates to my own beliefs. One of the defining parts of Bonapartism is its emphasis on anti-elitism. As explained in the last video, Napoleon rubbed shoulders with the sons of the French nobility who looked down upon the young Napoleon. This is because Napoleon was from a minor noble family from Corsica, which wasn't seen as purely French. Another example of the anti-elitism was in the Napoleonic opposition to the Directory. The Directory was established after the Thermidorian reaction of 1794, which overthrew the Committee of Public Safety. While the Directory stopped the terror, it was extremely corrupt and run by business and political elites. In 1799, Napoleon overthrew the Directory and established the consulate. In 1804, Napoleon officially disestablished the Republic and established the First French Empire. While he failed to live up to the principle many a times, Napoleon championed the meritocracy. The idea that positions of leadership were open to individuals based upon competence and not nobility was something that was virtually unknown in Europe before the Revolution of 1789. Anti-elitism, like I said, is another important aspect of Bonapartism. While he oftentimes failed to live up to the ideals, Napoleon embraced the meritocracy, as I said, as well as the Napoleonic Code, which was a primary example of this new form of government. The Napoleonic Code gave emancipation to religious minorities who were previously oppressed in France and other parts of Europe. The Napoleonic Code also established for the first time a certain code of laws in France. Prior to this, the laws of France were mostly done by local leaders. Finally, Bonapartism is about promoting civic nationalism. Civic nationalism is a type of nationalism that doesn't promote a state identity based upon race or religion. Napoleon demonstrated throughout his career that he was tolerant of other religions and ethnic groups. Instead, Napoleon proposed to spread the ideals of the Revolution of 1789 throughout the old despotic nations of Europe. Napoleon set France on a course to forever cement the values of the Revolution with the values of France itself. The United States, in the same sense, is based on this type of civic nationalism. However, I'm not the first one to tell you that civic nationalism runs up directly against political correctness. I will touch more upon political correctness in the future. However, it stands directly against the virtues of Bonapartism. It treats peoples as members of oppressed groups that one's worth can be chalked up to past historical grievances. If Western culture is to overcome this type of onslaught, then it needs to overcome political tribalism, to see each other as members of a group that with very levels of oppression instead as individuals, they may run the risk of destroying the entire Enlightenment project. Bonapartism is enlightenment with a hammer. It brings a purpose to the liberal project without conceding too much to the leftists. It realizes that in order to save the liberal ideal, we need to save the West from political elites and technocrats. The technocrats and corporate elite of this world wish to undo the West. By bringing a sense of anti-elitism and civic nationalism together, I hope to expand upon this ideology more, which is the purpose of this channel. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to like and subscribe.